Hey all, this is part 3, and we're going to do some if statement coding challenges. So the first one is going to be an if statement with undefined. So we're going to complete a function that takes in one parameter, determines if that parameter is defined, and returns a specific string if it is. Your function should use an if statement to determine if the input parameter is defined, and if it is, should return the string input is defined. Below are examples of the code running, assuming that you will have completed the described function. Is it undefined? So we're elucidating or going over a very important concept here, which is that if we define a function that has a parameter and we call that function without naming any parameters, then that parameter is going to have a value of undefined for basically the duration of that function's running. So with that in mind, that's how we're going to do this, is it defined or is it not? If we passed something, then it's defined. If we don't pass anything, or if we for some reason pass undefined, then we're going to get undefined as the value of the parameter. With that in mind, let's bring over our stub. It has a nice little section of pseudocode in it. And we'll copy our test cases. So if param is defined, or if it's not undefined. So that gives us a little bit of a hint about what we should be up to here. So the first thing that I always like to do is to write my if statement and then wrap my curly braces around the pseudocode. You don't need to do this. That is not something that's going to affect the way the code works. It's just something that I like to do so that when you, as a student, look at this, it can be a little bit easier to parse what each line is actually doing. So if param is defined, so theoretically we want to say something like if param is equal to defined, but defined isn't a value. Undefined is. So what we'll do is we'll change equals to not equals, and we'll change defined to undefined. So if the param is not equal to undefined, we know then, therefore, that it's, by definition, defined. And if that's the case, they want us to return input is defined. So if we run this, hopefully we should get log input is defined, should log undefined because function returned nothing, undefined. Okay, so there's two things going on there. One is that the result of this is undefined because our function doesn't return anything unless this if statement runs. This return statement won't be hit if param is undefined. And param is undefined because we didn't pass in an argument for that parameter. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take this back, paste in, run our tests, and we're back to being in good shape. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.